23 states are opening up lawsuits against the Trump administration for the repealing of the EPA's endangerment finding that happened, I believe it was last month. We'll get into the full article here in a moment about this lawsuit. This was an act that was passed in 2009, and it declared several greenhouse gases as a threat to public health. And this was based on facts. It was based on science. It was studied, and it was proven. This kind of formed like the basis for our regulations on these gases in the past decade or so. So this is an extremely important act or finding, whatever you want to refer to it as. And the fact that the EPA is just like, yeah, we're going to get rid of that. It's a bit concerning because this isn't the only action that they have taken, like in terms of slashing regulations, like deregulation in the EPA. I'll talk more about that in the end, but I want to get into this article here from Al Jazeera. U.S. states file lawsuit challenging Trump's revocation of climate finding. A group of 23 states have filed a legal petition against a decision under United States President Donald Trump to revoke a scientific finding that formed the basis for regulations meant to address climate change. The legal challenge, led by California and New York, was filed in the U.S. Court of Appeals for the District of Columbia on Thursday. 9 cities, several counties, the U.S. Virgin Islands, and the District of Columbia also joined the petition, as well as Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro. Instead of helping Americans face our new reality, the Trump administration has chosen denial, repealing the critical protections that are foundational to the federal government's response to climate change, New York State Attorney General Letitia James said in a statement. The complaint comes in response to Trump's move on February 12th to repeal a determination known as the endangerment finding. Established in 2009, the endangerment finding concludes that climate change is a threat to human health and the environment, a position aligned with an overwhelming scientific consensus. The finding formed the basis for government regulations to limit greenhouse gas emissions and encourage renewable energy. But the Trump administration had attacked the finding as a setback for the fossil fuel industry. Yeah, that's the entire point. That is the entire point. Don't you understand? Okay. If I get into it now, I'm not going to stop fucking yapping. Its recession was the single largest deregulatory action in U.S. history, Trump said last month. Like, bragging about it. This is literally life or death. This will lead to people dying, not from direct effects of climate change, not just from that, but also from just the amount of toxins and pollutants that we're going to be pumping back into the air. Ending the endangerment finding, however, was seen by critics as a crucial step to the president's efforts to roll back environmental protections. And this is so annoying, man. We have countries like India, countries like China. I think India, and both, maybe China as well, are both now like producing the overwhelming majority of their energy is from renewables. And what are we doing? We're rolling back green, like renewable energy programs. We're actively blocking further construction of solar panels, wind projects. It's crazy. Like, we are so backwards. It's mind-boggling. His administration has prioritized increased production of fossil fuels while undercutting the development of renewable energy. The target of Thursday's petition is the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency, EPA. Not only does it seek to reinstate the endangerment finding, but it also challenges the EPA's decision to repeal tailpipe emission standards for all vehicles and engines with model years between 2012 and 2017. States such as Michigan, Connecticut, and Virginia were among those who signed onto the lawsuit, along with cities such as New York, Boston, Chicago, Denver, and Los Angeles. Let me be clear, this unlawful rescission is not about cutting red tape, California Attorney General Rob Bonta said on Thursday in a statement. The president is choosing big oil profits over our health and betting that the American people won't notice the cost until the bill comes due. A coalition of advocacy groups also sued the Trump administration last month over the revocation of the finding, stating that the decision would harm public health and welfare. Repealing the endangerment finding endangers all of us. People everywhere will face more pollution, higher costs, and thousands of avoidable deaths. Peter Zhao, a leader of the Environmental Defense Fund, one of the plaintiffs, said at the time. Yeah, like, we're cooked. We're cooked. The entire world is moving towards renewable energy, which is just like the correct answer. It's the most efficient answer. It's the most logical answer. Why hitch your wagon to something that is so volatile and it's a finite resource? Like, what are we talking about here? Unfortunately, this endangerment finding reversal isn't the only thing that the EPA has reversed, as the article kind of touched on. Like, they've stripped away pollution requirements for oil and gas plants. They've also stripped waste regulations for these same plants, and also nuclear plants. Like, a lot of these plants now just have free reign to dump as much pollutants into the air and as much toxic waste as they want into our water supply. Allowing these major companies to just freely pump toxic pollutants into the air and directly into the water is going to kill people. It is going to kill people. I may not ever be able to convince you the real dangers of climate change, not until your house is like underwater or something, or on fire because your region is now like as hot as the surface of the sun. But can we at least agree on one thing? I just want to agree on one thing here. Can we at least agree, just please, can we agree that clean air is good? Can we agree that clean water is good? Can we agree that non-contaminated food is good? Can we just agree on that? Can we just agree on that? We don't have to. I've given up on the battle of trying to convince people about climate change. But can we just agree that we want clean things for us, our fellow Americans, our children? But yeah, here we are. Hopefully the lawsuit is successful, and like many lawsuits, it's by the time we get a decision, the damage is going to be already done, and we are already setting ourselves back, like, I feel like decades at this point in terms of addressing climate change and making the switch to green and renewable energy. Anyways, that's all I have for this one. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below, and I will see you in the next one. If you made it to this point in the video, I just want to give a special thank you. If you enjoyed it, please hit that like button down below, and if you really enjoyed it, maybe consider hitting that subscribe button while you're down there. I want to hear your thoughts in the comment section. I will try to reply to any and all comments that I can. Until next time, watch that video on screen.